はい、それじゃあ出席を取っていきますね。井上さん、石津君。大島君。坂田君。新さん。高林君。高谷君。ですね、授業始まる前なんですけども、大事なことなんで日本語で言いますけど、あれですよね、結構コロナ厳しいものがあって、それで大阪から帰ってる人、大阪経由も含めて結構いるでしょうね。はい。それで、なんだろう、あと2週間、今日含めたらね、授業、あと来週1回なんですけども、来週の時に、surge って英語で言いますけど、またピークがどんどん増えてるんですよね、世界的にね。で、日本もそうですけども、それで、なんだろう、いつも僕、自分の研究室から、室町小学校だったっけ、横通って自転車で来るんですけど、子供はもうなんか知らんけど、じゃれついて、もうすごいね。全然クラスターも出てないし、だけど、なんかやっぱり電車の中なんか結構怖いですよね。特に高齢者の方が家にいるから。それで、もしですね、ためらいが出たり、なんでしょう、自分は大丈夫やけども、家族に高齢者の人がいるとか、なったら困るとかいうような人はですね、私に、コンタクトください。ちょっと今週、来週の様子を見ないと分からないですけども、一服してるとは思えません。どんどん増えてると思うし。でちょっと今日これ、ズームで、授業の様子映してるんですけども、全部レコーディングして。で、その時はちょっと不便かもしれへんけども、君たちこの時間帯に、前期と同じようにZoom にログインしてくれたら、この教室が映りますから。で、全部は映らへんねん。これ全方位カメラじゃないから。で、この辺が映るから、誰かが、今日もプレゼン2人してくれるんですけど、その様子とかも入るし、で、オンデマンドにするとね、結構夜中見ちゃったりして、昼夜逆転したりして、私は良くないと思ってるので、多少不便があっても、そういう場合はもうオンタイムでやりましょう。それで、成績等ですね、もしそういう場合は、ちゃんと考慮しますので、もし、懸念があったらどうぞ遠慮なく私に言ってください。E メールしてくれたら結構です。で、okay, switch back to English. Today, we're going to have two presentations. one by Kushida-kun about the spaceship, last chapter. And then for today, Nakano-san will make a presentation for, wasn't it? No? Next week?
I don't think.
Oh, really? Anybody who,
あ、すみません。メール送ってないけど、用意はしてある。
Ijaz-kun, oh, did you make a presentation? Okay, thank you. You have a USB?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I thought that, sorry about that. Anybody else who have prepared for presentation? No? And in that order, Kushima-kun and Ichihashi-kun will listen to their presentation. After Kushima-kun's presentation will be first, and then we can read through quickly about chapter 10, unit 10, and then Ichihashi-kun make presentation for us. Okay? Yeah. And I try to listen to your opinion and how is the presentation of everybody, plus my grading. So I try to use some peer evaluation form, which could be downloaded by iPhone or could be Android, and you click one of them, very good, average, poor, need some work or something like that. And then it comes to me and it makes a perfect score, yeah, and which I will have reference for plus my grading, yeah. And I try to consider how you think about their presentation, and those people who make presentation have a chance to look at it and how people think about your presentation. That is very important for you for the improvement of your presentation, I guess. So please take two. This is trial version. If it goes successfully, I try to make the questionnaire and online and start maybe next week. If it goes successfully. Okay, try to take two. Yeah. And pass it behind. Each person take two, please. Okay, go. 2枚ずつ取って、それで後ろに回してください。2枚取った？ This is, yeah, two. 1人2枚。1人2枚。だって2人プレゼンテーション今日するので、ちょっとこれで試してみようかなと思います。Let me explain how to use this presentation format when everybody gets it. Thank you, Takuyashi-kun. Yeah, could you collect all of it? If you have extra, please put it down. I will collect them. Yeah. Let me explain from one. So this is one paper for one person, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 questions are there, and it's order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and while listening to the presentation, you choose one. One for pronunciation. It includes volume, rhythm, intonation, etc. And then, if you think it's poor, please put one below. And if you think it's need more efforts, need more work, and two. And if you think it's an average, please put 3. And if you think it's good, please put 4. And if you think that's excellent, please put 5. And then second question will be down below, content, 内容, okay? Did they cover the topic well? Did you learn anything from the presentation? Okay. And 3, preparation. Was the presenter well prepared? The presenter did not read notes. 手元を見てない? Yeah. And if the presenter didn't note, that's perfect. Yeah. Okay. But it's very hard. And then organization. The presenter had a logical flow. 論理的な流れ. All major points were covered. And question 5 will be visual auditory aids. Use of the visual aid, auditory aid was effective. Pictures and the videos or something, news or something like that. And last one, fix is presentation style. The presenter had an appropriate interaction with the audience. Eye contact or question and answers, if they have, yeah, and they are kind of well communicated with the audience, or just try to lead their own. Yeah? That's not a presentation, just like one's own leading. So, 市橋君と串間君ごめんね。ちょっとこれはなんでしょう。なんか開発段階で、皆さんの回答によって、あれこれは変えた方がいいかなというような質問をね変えようかなと思っています。だからちょっとあんまり気にしないで、そのままやってください。今日これをやるからって全然言ってませんからね。で皆さんも思ったように回答してくれたら、でこういうのが携帯でできればいいなと私は思ってるんですけども、でここからダウンロードアップルの人はアップストアからダウンロードして、それで、このクエスチョンが出るようにして、それで君たちはこの1、2、3、4、5をプルダウンメニューから選ぶようにして、すぐに送るの。じゃあ、その後で私のところに全部集計が来るように作りたいんですよ。はい。で、そしてそれをプリントアウトするのに、ここでこう皆さんに見せたり必要があったら、するようにしたいと思って、ちょっと今メールアドレスと、それとファミリーネームとファーストネームと、それだけ集めてちょっと作ってるんですけども、間に合うかな。多分いけそうな気がするんですけども、ちょっと今日紙ベースでちょっと一回やってみたいなと思ってます。ちょっと協力してください。はい、ということで、遅れてきた人いますか、誰か。Okay, yeah, I'm just worried about the very important thing. The coronavirus is still a serious condition in Osaka City, and including Kyoto. And Kyoto, its number is increasing steadily from as many as 20 new infected cases, but now it's become 60 or something like that, tripled. Yeah? So you have to be very careful. Even the young people have serious problem once they got the coronavirus. The statistical report or medical report said that some youngsters, young people, after recovering the coronavirus, they have no smells, they have no taste for the time being. It's really kind of stressful. And they have a chronic headache, yeah, a side headache, or they cannot concentrate on things or something like that. It reported even youngsters, high schoolers, and university students. So be careful. If you don't have a fever, that will could give you damage. Yeah? Okay, all aged people are much more, I guess. Kusuma-kun? Okay. Do you have a USB? I have a USB over yours. Could you bring your USB here? And could you put it in? Use this. This is the microphone, and yeah, this is yours, and maybe second one.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it comes. Okay. Slideshow, very beginning, and now it's ready. Okay, that's great. Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Hello,
Hello.
I'm Yu Kikushima. Today I want to talk about satellite. Teacher said I talk about spaceship is not. I'm talking about satellites. Yeah, first, what's the satellite? Satellite is an artificial celestial body that exists in the orbit of the Earth, like that. Mainly the Earth. On the Earth, by placing an object on a rocket and accelerating the first cosmic velocity 第一宇宙速度 at 28,400 km per hour 28,400 キロ毎時です。The gravity of the Earth and the celestial force 重力と何だかな日本語書き間違ってるんですけど、地球の重力と遠心力から脱出、こっちですね、が釣り合うことでくるくる回ってます。So what kind of satellite? First, a military satellite. Military satellites are the most launched satellite ever. And the communication satellite, it's a very 馴染みのある satellites. And Earth observation satellites, artificial satellites for non-military observation on the Earth, such as environment monitoring, meteorology, and cartography. あと、
such as はやぶさですね。
はやぶさは地球観測ではないんで、これには当たらない。
Oh, sorry.
アメダス、アメダスとか
I got it.
がそれで、はやぶさ is a 科学 scientific satellite. Are satellite for the purpose of scientific observation of terrestrial bodies such as the Earth, planet, the suns, and other space such as cosmic rays and ionosphere. これが、はやぶさとか地球惑星太陽、その他もろもろのやつを調べるやつです。Exception of satellites. ちょっと間違えましたね。はやぶさは人工衛星に当たらないんですよ。ちょっと日本語で説明するんですけども、さっき間違って言っちゃったんですけど、一応衛星なんでどっかの周りをくるくる回らないとダメなんですけど、はやぶさはどこかを回ってるわけじゃないので、正確にはサテライトの定義から外れるそうです。And The International Space Station, ISS 国際宇宙ステーション。国際宇宙ステーションは地球の周り回ってるんですけど、なんか人工衛星ではないらしいです。Yeah. So, my favorite satellite is the Hubble Space Telescope. Hubble 宇宙望遠鏡です。The Hubble Space Telescope is a space telescope that orbits about 600 kilometers above the ground and a length of 30.1 meters, a weight of 11 tons. The reflecting telescope with a diameter of 2.4 meters of the primary mirror inside. It's possible to observe astronomical objects with high accuracy, which is difficult from the ground. Like this picture is pictured by Hubble. And it's Jupiter pictured by me. 私が撮った写真、木星がこれです。で、it's Jupiter pictured by the Hubble. It's very impressive. I can picture this. で、日本語対応してしまうんですけど、第一宇宙速度ってさっき言ったんですけど、これが第一宇宙速度で、地球の周りを回るときの速度です。秒速 7.9 キロで回ります。説明すると、第二宇宙速度っていうのを使って地球から脱出します。野口さんとか宇宙ステーションにいたときは、多分第二宇宙速度で加速していきます。で、第一宇宙速度で地球の衛星くるくる回ります。で、太陽系の速度に出ようと思うと第三宇宙速度が必要で、はやぶさとかはこの第三宇宙速度を経験しているはずです。で、秒速 16.7km の速さで飛んでます。
大阪まで2秒ですね。
そうですね。で、第一宇宙速度で飛ぶと、さっき重力と、遠心力の関係で平行を取れるって言ってるんですけど、若干重力の方が強いんで、たまにエンジン噴射して軌道を修正します。で、ハブルに使われているのはこの反射式っていう望遠鏡です。この辺もちょっと難しいんで、発売ということにさせていただきます。で、the presentation is a finish, but I have one question to you. Did you see 双子座流星群 yesterday or before the day after yesterday? 双子座流星群見た方いらっしゃいますか？いらっしゃらない。これ、昨日撮った写真、おとつい撮った写真なんですけども、ちょっと消してもらってもいいですかね。写ってないもののこんな風に見れましたというお話です。これ以上なんですけども、雑談挟んですいません。
どこ来たことないです
か？ここには映ってないんですけど、結構バンバン流れとって、こんな感じの星空が昨日見えたんですっていう。
こんなに綺麗なのいっぱいあるんですか？
はい。
どこからですか？こ
れは奈良県の十津川村っていうところです。
十津川村。ああ、それでこんなにたくさん星が見えるんだ。
はい。
はあ。なんかハワイみたいですね。
そう、ハワイ行ったことないからわからないですけど。で、これで終わります。日本語対応しました。
Really, any questions or comments? In Japanese, in English, okay? Yeah. あれですか、口間君なんかのこういうの大好きなの？
そうですね。高校の時は天文部に入ってました。
天文部ですか。じゃあもう家にもちゃんと機材があって。
そうですね。
あ、ですか。私なんかオリオン座ぐらいしかわかりませんけど。
さっきの映ってましたけどね。
逆の綺麗に映ってますね。 はい。素晴らしい。なかなか。はい、じゃあ皆さん、ちょっと試しに今のプレゼンテーションを、レーティングしてみてください。名前書かなくていいですよ。女性、男性もいりません。それで、裏向けにして、後ろから回収して。これは福島君っていうことで、僕持ってきますから、はい。書かなくて結構です。裏向けにして回収してあげてください。はい。はい、ありがとう。ちょっと私が毎回評価しているのと、どれぐらい、なんていうズレっていうんですかね、があるかどうかっていうのを、君たちのポイントをちょっと見たいので、はい。これをちょっとこう参考にさせてもらいます。で、ご本人にはもちろんこの資料はいつでも見れるようにしたいと思います。Okay, now we're going to move on to the leading passage, Unit 10, and it's page on 63. But the question is pretty much easy, straightforward. Please just write.今日もちゃんと動いてくれるといいですね。あ、いきそう。29か。これですね。はい。じゃあ、行きましょう。
Unit 10, Going Carbon Neutral. Reading passage. The threat caused by climate change is familiar to us all. Every day we burn fossil fuels like coal and oil for energy. That releases tons of CO2 into the air, leading to global warming, rising sea levels, and other serious problems.
See, the threat caused by climate change, threat is kind of worry, and people worry too much by the attack of the nature. Threat caused by climate change, is familiar to us all. Every day we burn fossil fuels like fossil fuel is long time ago. Well before the human beings comes on Earth. It's a dinosaurs age, era, and like coal and oil for energy, gasoline is one of them, and coal is one of them. That releases tons of CO2 into the air, leading to global warming, rising sea levels. Okay, so no, Antarctic, Arctic, its glacier is melting, and towns, cities like Venetia is sinking into the sea, okay? And other serious problems. Any questions so far? Is that okay?
One way people, corporations, and governments are meeting the threat is by going carbon neutral.
Carbon neutral means plus minus zero. Okay, so neutral is carbon free. No carbon.
The idea is to release a net balance of zero CO2. If enough people get involved, it could have a real impact in the fight to protect our planet.
Protect our planet, Earth. Okay. Kushima-kun just shows us our planet. People living in this tiny planet. Yeah.
Many of our daily activities produce CO2. Driving, flying, using computers.
Okay, driving, flying, jet plane, airplane, using lots of gasoline, and using computers because the electricity were made by burning coals. 火力発電所? Yeah, isn't it?
And heating our homes all add to the problem. Carbon calculators can show you how much CO2 you are responsible for.
Carbon calculators, calculators, what is the meaning of calculators? Well, Tokuhira-san, what is the meaning of calculators? What is that? Dentago. Calculate means 計算する. Yeah. So, but it's automatic. So, dentago is fine. Calculators can show you how much CO2 you are responsible for. Yeah. How much CO2 you are producing. That means, okay. If you have 2 bikes and 3 cars, you are responsible too much for the emission of CO2. Okay.
For example, flying from San Francisco to Tokyo releases almost 1 ton of CO2 per person.
Wow.
Driving 20 kilometers to work produces around 2 tons per year. Once you know how much CO2 you produce, you can start lowering your carbon footprint.
Carbon footprint, amount of carbon you produce. Footprint is kind of a trace of your moving, ashiato or something like that. But in this case, amount of CO2.
That can be done by buying energy-efficient light bulbs and home appliances like refrigerators and stoves.
When you say stove, Japanese stove and English stove is totally different. When you say stove in Japanese, that means heating system, isn't it? But if you say in English stove, that means renji, yeah, for cooking and dining. Okay, it's usually misunderstood by Japanese people start to live in the United States or elsewhere.
By installing solar panels, we can make our homes and businesses greener.
Greener means environment friendly. Yeah. Environment friendly is green and more environment friendly. Okay.
Also, walking or riding a bicycle to work and driving hybrid cars all reduce CO2 levels.
Okay, what is the meaning of reduce, Mirakun? Could you say a little bit louder? Erasu, okay, great. What is the opposite meaning of decrease? Do you know the word? Decrease. Fuyasu. Increase, okay. Please remember the pair. Increase, decrease. Increase means much more, and decrease means much less. Well, thank you. Any questions, comments so far? Don't be hesitant to ask a question. Any tiny particle, is that okay?
Even after taking steps to save energy, we still create some pollution.
Even after taking steps to save energy, we still create some pollutions. Yeah, still create some pollution because we have to live. Yeah.
So the next step in going carbon neutral is to offset that amount.
Offset means kind of balance, make balance. Okay. Offset means counterbalance, or just balance things, that amount.
Offsetting means supporting energy-saving projects that balance out the CO2 that you produce.
Okay, offset is a difficult word for even a native speaker of English. So the author explains, offsetting means supporting energy-saving projects, 太陽パネル or 風力発電 or something like that, that balance out the CO2 that you produce. あなたが出す、それに見合ったもの。Okay. If you have solar panels in your house and have a car, it's balanced out. Okay.
Some examples are tree planting groups, solar energy efforts, and wind farms.
Planting groups. Some people are voluntarily planting new plants in the mountain or on the desert by deforestation. We have smaller areas green, and people start to replant trees again, voluntarily. And solar energy efforts, the solar panel. And wind farms. A wind farm is, if you go to countryside area, it's lots of funds there just to create energy. Okay. If you go to Tottori nearby, the wind farm is there, and as many as 100 windmills are there. Funds are there. Try to make generate energy. It's just like farm, so they call wind farm.
Listening activity. This morning, a thief was caught thanks to the city's new anti-crime computer system.
しまった。ちょっと進めましょう。
Are meeting the threat is by going carbon neutral. You can start lowering your carbon footprint. That can be done by buying neutral is to offset that amount. Offsetting means supporting energy-saving projects that balance out the CO2 that you produce.
Okay.
Some examples are tree planting groups, solar energy efforts, and wind farms. Let's say your lifestyle produces 30 tons of CO2. You could offset that total by giving money to a wind farm that produces the equivalent of 30 tons of clean energy. The net balance is 0.
What is the meaning of equivalent, Kosriko? わかんない？じゃあ小林くんどうですか？調べて 調べておいてくださいね。じゃあ、金さんどうですか？同じもの。はい。同量。same amount. Equivalent means 同じようなもの。Okay? 同等のもの。is equivalent. Comes from equal. Okay? Equivalent. Equal. Wind farm that produces the equivalent equals of the 30 tons of clean energy. That net balance is zero. Okay, if you donate some money, give some money to create new wind farm, you contribute to the balance out. Okay, and then next.
Efforts to go carbon neutral are showing up everywhere. For example, the Olympics are now carbon neutral. So are some schools, like the College of the Atlantic. In the music industry, bands like the Rolling Stones are offsetting new CDs. Some people are even offsetting their weddings.
Yeah, people do a lot of things to offset. Efforts to carbon neutral are showing up everywhere. Showing up is, you can see, show up, appears. For example, the Olympics are now carbon neutral. They try to don't use gasoline much as they did in the past. So the schools, College of Atlantic is famous. In music industry, bands like Rolling Stones are offsetting new CDs. I don't know much about that. Some people are even offsetting their weddings. Yeah, they don't use kind of CO2 things. Okay. And next page.
Climate change is a matter of urgency.
Urgency. What is the urgency means? Nakagawa-san, what is the urgency? Kinkyu. Okay, great. Make haste. Kinkyu.
Many scientists say we need to lower CO2 levels by 60% over the next 40 years. If we don't, there could be terrible consequences, both
terrible consequences. Consequences is Nakano-san? Okay. In other words, result. Okay. Result. Terrible consequences. Terrible consequences. What is the terrible, Nakano-san, as well? Good meaning, bad meaning. Bad meaning, okay. Terrible means hidoi, okay. Hidoi gekka ni naru. Terrible consequences. You probably know the word terrific, okay. Terrific is good meaning. Oh, this is terrific. こいつは素晴らしい, okay. This steak is terrific. このステーキはうまいな or something. But if it's terrible, oh, this meal is terrible. We just can't eat them. Yeah. Our cafeteria is terrible. Yeah. Something like that way.
for the environment and the world economy. Though governments are talking about ways to lower pollution levels, these steps may not be enough. By going carbon neutral, individuals and businesses can do something meaningful to meet this global challenge.
So individuals and a business, and probably a government can do something meaningful. Okay, that is what we are facing. Well, question about the leading, and go ahead and one by one, and One, Nishiguchi-kun. You said the B? Okay, fine. What about two? Second one, Nara-kun. A, right? And what about the next one, Okazaki-san? You said A? A? Okay, thank you. A. And for Sada-kun, B, okay. And what about the 5? Well, Tanaka-kun. There, okay. Yeah, I believe. Me too. Why don't we skip the above one, writing about the articles, and go down to the vocabulary building as usual. And why don't we do first 4 sets asking and answers by Wimura-kun. Could you? 1, B. 2, you think it's A. Big project must make their business practices. If it's not A, what you can choose? B, yeah, corporations, kaisha, companies. Okay. And 3, D, 4, D, okay, great. And then move on to the latter half. Yamamoto-san, could you? 5, A, 6, C, 7, A, 8, C. Very smooth. Thank you very much. Yeah. Well, as usual, next page. Somebody, could you read this out? Anybody? Could you? I don't like to appoint you because the learning is something you yourself. Oh, Ichashun, could you do it? Thank you. Oh, 寒い人。ちょっとこうもうちょっと閉めますね。全部開けたら寒いね。Okay, please go ahead.
My older sister and I first got involved with plastic tree planters in 2002.
Got involved.
We spent 3 weekends a month helping the group plant trees. It's actually a lot harder than it sounds. We have to show up at the office at 3:30.
Oh yeah, you need to get up early in the morning and show up the office at 6:30. It's very early, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
After a quick cup of coffee, we load the equipment into the trucks. Mm-hmm. I'm responsible for making sure it's all properly loaded. Mm-hmm. Next, we drive to the day side and spend 4 hours planting trees. Mm-hmm. It's important work, but it sure is tiring.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is the actual comments. People voluntarily planting something. We spend 3 weekends a month helping the group, and they need to get up maybe 5 a.m. or something, and to show up the office 6:30, and just having coffee. They go to the place they work with a lot of equipments. What is the equipment means? Fujimoto-kun? Gima-san? Sonaru, a little bit. That's good, but in this case, equipment means something like. Okay, Hasegawa-san, do you have any idea? Sobi, okay. Maybe shovels, something like that, yeah. Dog should be into the trucks. I'm responsible for making sure it's properly loaded. Loaded means there. Next, we drive to their site, place, and spend 4 hours planting trees. It's important work, but it sure is tiring. Of course, yeah, that's it. Okay, thank you very much, Ichihashi-kun. And then we can move on to the listening exercise. Okay, please listen carefully.
Listening exercise.
My family is worried about the environment. We've decided to cut our carbon output by 15% this year.
How are you going to do that?
We'll start by replacing our light bulbs. That's the easiest thing to do. Also, each of us will make a small change. For example, I'll bus to work once a week. My wife will go without the air conditioner 1 day a week. And 1 day a week, our kids won't use any battery-powered devices like video games.
Listening activity. Stephen and Wendy are planning a very special wedding, but it won't take place at a church or anywhere else on land.
No, it doesn't stop.
The two ocean lovers.
Okay. What does a man want to do? Did you have a key to answer? Hirai-san? I just can't hear. Is it B, C? C, okay, yeah. Reduce his carbon output and family, okay? And according to the man, what is the easiest change to make? What is it, Kin-san? Replacing light bulbs. Thank you. 何だったっけ？なんとか電球。消費量が少ないやつ。はい。Well, 3. How many of the man's family members will change their lifestyles? Do you know the meaning of this question? Kobayashi-kun? C. Most of them. there are one or two family members who didn't agree with that. They, B, which one? B. 2 of them. 本当ですか? Okay. I think they all of them try to reduce the CO2 carbon emission. So they is correct answer. Those people who sitting the window side, if you feel cold, please make it smaller, the width of the windows gap. ね、毎年だとあれですね、この時期、電車の中あったかくってね、京阪でも阪急でもね、なんかついつい寝ちゃいますけど、今年なんか寒くて、なんか凍りつきそうになって、なんか目覚めたりしますね、歌ったりしてもね。はいはい。まあ、そういう経験もあるのかもしれません。Let's skip the next listening activity. I don't think it's so much important. Okay, I will send you the transcript of the Japanese translation later for your reference, okay, for your prep for the next coming test. Not next week. Okay. Then Ichihashi-kun will do a presentation for us. Let's listen to him. Let's plug in here. And you double click DC. Oh no, you can use the mouse here. Okay. Okay, just double click here. And this is yours. Is that okay?
Can I prepare YouTube first?
Hmm?
Can I prepare YouTube first?
Oh, sure. Go ahead and click here. And just put in YouTube and insert the title if you remember. There. Could just search. If you're ready, please tell me. I'll put off the light.
はい、すいません。
You just can't find it?
はい。
You got it?
I got it.
Mm-hmm. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. Can I turn off the light? Think you see this car?
はい。
And please have a microphone. That is not microphone. Okay. Do you know get the hang how to use this mobile switch? Let's go. This is a receiver, and then it goes like this, and then back, and the beam. Okay, you get it?
Hello, I'm Ace Keichashi. These days, CO2 reduction is the target of a lot of countries, and we can say that it is a world trend, CO2 reduction. And in Japan, Suga Prime Minister made a statement that Japan reduced greenhouse gas emissions to zero by 2050. And in Germany, Daimler and Bosch, which is famous automobile company, is proactive in reducing CO2 emissions. And Daimler produced Mercedes-Benz, and this company made a statement that the company reduced CO2 from new cars to zero by 2039. By the way, maybe all of you know electric car and solar power generation as an effort of CO2 reduction. Then, do you know a great effort has been made in Japan? And it's this effort is to produce airplane fuel from industrial waste. For example, fat of meat, of konbini bento or something. And the fuel is relatively expensive, but it can reduce about 90% of greenhouse gas emissions. Then let's watch the YouTube of the news here.
今、楽天カードに申し込むと8000ポイントプレゼント。楽天銀行でさらにお得。
羽田空港からアメリカのヒューストンに向けて出発した全日空の旅客機。使用されているのは食品廃棄物から作ったジェット燃料です。食肉加工の過程で捨てられる脂身や使い終わった食用油などが利用されていて、石油由来の燃料と比べて排出される二酸化炭素の量はおよそ9割削減できるということです。日本から出発する定期便にこうした燃料を使うのは国内で初めてです。航空業界では CO2 削減の目標を掲げ、各社が環境負荷の少ない燃料の調達を進めていて、日本航空でも家庭ごみなどを原料とするバイオジェット燃料の利用を2022年度にも定期便で始める予定です。
そうです。Why don't you pay attention to CO2 reduction in the future? That's all. Thank you for listening.
発表によりますと、日本航空は来月にかけて
So, Ichishika, do you have a question to the audience, the class? No? Anybody who has a question to Ichishika? No? Comments or anything? Okay, please make notes for the evaluation sheet and please submit it to me. Kushima-kun, I checked it for yours, and it's almost identical with mine. And some people pronunciation average. Of course, we are not native speaker, and one thing you are excellent is you didn't read notes, okay? And the other thing is visual things, and the people prefer it. That's for you. Yeah, I'm very relieved by your information that largely coincide with mine. Okay, thank you very much.
先生、自分のって別に書かなくて。
自分の自分の書かない。いいです、いいです。はい。Okay, a little bit earlier, but we have already finished what we have prepared for today. And thank you very much for attending. And please bear in mind, keep it in mind, if you worry to coming up to school because the situation worsened in the next week, and please contact me if you feel kind of panic or fear, concerns, and please contact me. And I will give you Japanese translation and give the video I shooted today, today's class, and that is the televised lecture, 遠隔授業の様子 or something. So to make sure how it goes. Okay, and thank you very much, and please survive until this year, Christmas. Okay, thank you for coming. Just 待ってね。